some of the most important things in the world don't come from IQ, they come from EQ. One of them being relationships, from professional relationships to personal relationships, being able to get in touch and understand somebody for who they are, what they care about, and be able to be relatable and relate. That is not something that IQ can teach you. That's all 1000% EQ.
Some careers have clear through lines. Pick a college major, get a job in that industry. But others take serendipitous turns. Chris Lyons is the latter, but with some surprising twists. Chris started his career as a music producer with Jermaine Dupri, founder of So Def Records in Atlanta, a role that honed his eye for recognizing talent and helping them reach their potential. But then he joined renowned venture capital firm Andresen Horowitz, where he helped connect talent to business opportunities by creating the Cultural Leadership Fund. Eventually, he became a general partner at the firm.
We talked to Chris about why he thinks EQ is far more important than IQ in a successful career, how he connects creative thinkers to business opportunities, and the common threads he sees across all creative disciplines. This is Design Better, where we explore creativity at the intersection of design and technology. I'm Eli Woolery.
And I'm Aaron Walter. If you're hearing this, you're not currently on our premium subscriber feed. Design Better premium subscribers enjoy weekly episodes. You get 4 episodes per month rather than just 2. All are ad-free, and you get invited to our monthly AMAs with the smartest folks in design and tech. You'll hear a preview of this episode, but if you'd like to hear the full conversation, please consider becoming a premium subscriber at designbetterpodcast.com/subscribe. That's designbetterpodcast.com/subscribe. It's just $7 a month, and it supports not only your personal growth, it also supports your design community. The podcast is available to everyone through our scholarship program. If you can't afford a subscription right now, just shoot us an email at subscriptions@thecuriositydepartment.com, and we'll help you out. We'll return to the conversation after this quick break. Design Better is brought to you by Wix Studio, the platform built for all web creators to design, develop, and manage exceptional web projects at scale. Learn more at wix.com/studio. And now, back to the show. Chris Lyons, welcome to Design Better.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. We're super interested in talking to you about your career and specifically about the work that you do connecting creative people. That's a fascinating place that you occupy and you kind of made for yourself in your career. But first, I wanted to ask you, what does the quote, "thinking is the true business of life," what does that mean to you?
As a kid, I read this book called The Key to Yourself. One of the first lines that it said is, "Thinking is the true business of life." And what that really means is that at the end of the day, this entire world, this camera we're talking into, the art behind me, the microphone that you're speaking into, all came from somebody and all came from a thought and all came from an idea. And when you understand the true essence of what and how important your thoughts are and how important, being aligned and having the right frequency that you're emanating and that you're attracting really is the core foundation behind whatever type of creativity and output that you want to put into the world. And so my family really instilled this into me and I practiced it and I've seen the results, and I've also seen the results when it doesn't go well of how important your mind is. I'm always grateful whenever a good idea pops into my head, or even now in the world of AI and being able to have the smartest person in the world at your computer that you can just talk back and forth with in order to get feedback and bounce things off of. It really puts creativity at the forefront. Thinking is the true business of life. And on top of that, we live in a world of everyone else's ideas. And as we're thinking about what else can be done, we're the same people that can build. We're also the same people that can hold ourselves back when it comes to an idea. technology is probably one of the coolest mediums of creativity. Mark Andreessen calls it modern day alchemy, where you can literally sit in front of a computer and build digital gold. You can build the Ethereum project, you can build ChatGPT and OpenAI, you can build any of these startups from just a computer and an idea and understanding, knowing how to code. Fast forward to today and tomorrow with companies like Cursor AI, you just create and the code will come already right there, pre-baked. And I think that there's so much opportunity that we are going to see in this world. I've been working in technology since 2000, well, formally since 2010, but I've always loved it as a kid. But we used to live in a world where you had to be a software engineer. All we did was promote getting a CS degree. And because you needed to be able to code, you needed to be able to be in the building on that side in order to actually create. And I think that we are really just changing the narrative and we're getting into a new era that is actually powered by creativity, empowered by your ability to know not necessarily the infrastructure, but to be able to leverage the applications. I think that that's what's going to happen with the future of blockchain technologies. I think that's what's going to happen with the future of AI. I see that in what's going on and how music is being created, digital art. There's so many mediums that are about to be explored. The creative for the longest was always the person asking for support because we didn't know how to use the tools. But now I think that the world is shifting to the point where the tools are infinite. If you wanted to create an audiobook, you can insert 11 labs and just type out what your dreams are and what you think it's going to be and have an audiobook come out. You don't need to go talk to a publisher. If you want to get an idea for a trailer for a music video or a movie, I mean, what Google just released in terms of their video platform is revolutionary. You had to go in, pitch a script, go combine an idea, go talk to someone, hope somebody listened, take out a $500,000 loan, get the trailer out. Now you can literally just spend 45 minutes and get that output there. But the difference, because now that the tools are available, is really going to rely on the creativity. And what is it that people are going to be creating that you can still enjoy to consume and that you can empower people to get behind because the ability to create is endless. And I think that the best example that I could give is from my background, which is in the music industry, when my dream was always to work in a recording studio. The only thing I love more than a studio is a beach. And those are my two favorite things, right? Seeing an SSL board and seeing waves just crash right behind me. And so those are my two favorite things. But being in a studio was the ultimate dream. But it was the dream because it was so hard. It was so hard to, I mean, one, to get into a studio because it was expensive. Two, you had to be a music engineer and you had to have the whole software set up, the hardware set up. It was an expensive project. But the second that the software started getting good, where you could just record right there from a laptop, what Soldier Boy did in his bathroom to create a random record, and not needing to go to the studio, but now distribute it online. All it did was increase the amount of people that could become creatives in the music industry. And then you add streaming on top of it, you add the quality of not needing to have an engineer and just can press three buttons and have your music sound incredible. I mean, we just had a whole conversation on whether or not I need to use a mic anymore. So, like, that is how far the evolution has gone, whether that's music, whether that's audio. Now, you fast forward companies like Udio, where you'll have AI and music coming in together. And where does that kind of lead? And so, thinking is not only the true business of life, but it's actually going to be the foundation for the next wave of businesses and creativity, and companies and individuals and consultants, you name it, are going to be scouring the earth for people that aren't just smart, but are creative.
So, Chris, you spoke to why creativity is important, and I think Garen and I both agree, but you also touched on EQ, emotional intelligence. Why do you think that paired with creativity might be foundational?
Well, I think EQ is extremely important. I think one of the things that always kind of separated or allowed me to kind of be different is living in a world where IQ was the sole driver behind what people were looking for. But some of the most important things in the world don't come from IQ, they come from EQ. One of them being relationships, from professional relationships to personal relationships, you name it, being able to get in touch and understand somebody for who they are, what they care about, identify their interests, and be able to be relatable and relate and have content and product that also is on that same variable. That is not something that IQ can teach you. That's all 1000% EQ. EQ is about feeling and being able to have that harmony that you are putting out there into the world that resonates. It's an art and it's not a science. There is science that is equipped behind it, but I think that it really does boil down to the art. One of my favorite books is called The War of Art, not The Art of War, which is also good, but that's used for a different situation. But The War of Art, which is kind of that combative self that as a creative, you go to war with every day because you know you have to get this thing out there. But you're fighting with the demons of procrastination and the self-doubt. The combination of having EQ that can balance out a world that was, specifically talking into the technology and broader venture capital industry that still needs IQ. I mean, look, I'm grateful that I get a chance to work with the smartest people in the world every day. And it is the reason why I'm always scouring the earth to find new information and stay up to speed, because everyone is geniuses, literally. But I think that the thing that's natural on my end is just the ability to have that emotional component to it and being able to have that feeling of knowing that this is a good idea, this is a good product. Even for me, when I started working in venture, I didn't necessarily know how to do venture capital. But once I learned that the idea was very similar to a producer identifying a star that can sing and saying, hey, that's the person right there. Like, that's the sound I've been looking for. But then translating that into seeing the star and the entrepreneur, it gave me the mental framework to say, okay, like, I can do this. And so that took an EQ approach to an IQ solution. Now I just needed to learn the IQ. And I think that, we're going to be in a fun world where a lot more people are going to need to learn the EQ of things. And I think that that actually is going to create a much more harmonious place to live in, and something that I'm actually really excited about.
It's an interesting connection you make. You have this background where you were working with Jermaine Dupri in Atlanta, producing, making music, which is a fascinating career in and of itself. Like, if you just kept going in that direction, that's super cool. People would love you as a party guest. They want to hear your stories. But then, right?
He's the man.
But then you make this transition into venture. And when you explain it, I totally see the connection there. One of those skills, in addition to EQ, is this lateral thinking, being able to see like, oh, this is like that. But there must have been some serious leverage of that EQ that you talk about in going from the music industry to, all right, now I'm talking with Ben Horowitz, and now I'm chief of staff with Ben Horowitz, and now I'm a general partner at Andresen Horowitz. I mean, that's a fascinating journey. Give us the rundown on that story.
I mean, well, it's still going, and it was a story, and I think it all came from an energy of trying to bring ideas into life. And the idea of having a thought to a thing started off in the music industry, right? And that's kind of my passion, is like this, having an idea, being able to sit in front of a piano or an MPC and hammer out a song that the entire world can potentially resonate with and enjoy, and you can sell out stadiums off of. Like, it's crazy because a couple minutes ago that didn't even exist, right? And so,
If you'd like to continue listening to this conversation, you'll need to subscribe at designbetterpodcast.com/subscribe. Once you do, you'll get access to every full-length episode, all ad-free, monthly AMAs with inspiring people in design and tech, and recordings of all our past AMAs. The podcast is available to everyone through our scholarship program. If you can't afford a subscription, just email us at subscriptions@thecuriositydepartment.com and we'll help you out. Your support makes Design Better possible. Invest in yourself and the design community by subscribing at designbetterpodcast.com. Design Better is supported by Masterclass. I'm a lifelong learner. Though it's been decades since I've been in school, I remain in life's classroom, curious about design and tech, science, history, filmmaking, architecture, cooking, AI, and lots of other things too. Masterclass is an essential part of my learning. I've gone deeper into each of these subjects by taking masterclasses with people like Herbie Hancock, Frank Gehry, David Lynch, Anna Wintour, Shonda Rhimes, Martin Scorsese, and Jane Goodall, to name just a few. The brightest minds are making my mind brighter, and I love it. Whether you want to learn to write better, improve your public speaking, develop a mindfulness practice, enhance your creativity, or become a better cook, Masterclass has in-depth expertise you can tap into anytime and any place. You can access Masterclass on your phone, computer, smart TV, or even in audio mode. Right now, Design Better listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/designbetter. Save 15% off at masterclass.com/designbetter. That's masterclass.com/designbetter.
Design Better is supported by Air Doctor. Americans spend an average of 90% of the time indoors. But did you know indoor air can be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air? This is something that Aaron has been concerned about for years, as his youngest son has struggled with asthma since he was little. Dust and allergens aggravate his symptoms. They got him an Air Doctor air filter for his room and have seen a huge difference in his symptoms. Unlike other purifiers, Air Doctor captures invisible particles 100 times smaller than standard HEPA filters. And Air Doctor was voted Best Air Purifier by Newsweek, so it's no surprise that 98% of Air Doctor customers agree their home's air feels cleaner, safer, and healthy. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code DesignBetter to get up to $300 off today. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee plus a 3-year warranty. That's an $84 value free. Get this exclusive podcast-only offer now at airdoctorpro.com. That's AIRDOCTORPRO.com using promo code DesignBetter.